Hi everyone. So when you're looking at 5 different characteristics that Sharon could look at for her buyers, I came up with, for my first one, traveling families. So I thought this would be a good one because, like it said, all of the hotels were located near the highway. So especially for families who are traveling, on their way, they might, stop at these hotels and stuff. And since the hotels are big enough and have everything they would need right there on property, that might be something that or a target market that she could go after. Obviously these, like I said, these properties and these rooms are a little bit bigger, so it might be better for families versus, single people who are traveling or just a couple. So that was one aspect I looked at. Another one was business groups because, with it being a full service hotel, they do have the restaurant there, and that's something they could incorporate within these business groups. Everything, like kind of like earlier, everything that they would need would be right there on property. So that might be a good way for different businesses to save money in that aspect. Another one I came up with was remote workers. I was looking at an article that was posted by Omland Hospitality Products, which is actually out of Canada. But they had a blog post about, different types of people that go for different types of hotels. And for full service, it said that for full service mid-priced hotels, they're at a slightly higher price point, but they're usually located right near highways, airports, and downtown areas. So that had me start thinking about remote workers because a lot of times remote workers or more hybrid workers will have to travel in to where the headquarters might be or where there's an office, and then they can go there, get some work done, go for a meeting, and then come back. So these people who are traveling and on the go and need good internet access where they can go somewhere to stay and still be able to grab food and all of those things, that might be something that's good for them. Another one I came up with was the reunions and like personal groups rather than businesses. For large family get-togethers, they need a place that's easily accessible, which, being by the hotel or being by the highway is perfect for that. And they also need to be able to have different things on the property so that they're able to enjoy each other's company without having to go out and spend a ton of extra money on outside activities. And then lastly, I also came up with events and conventions. Again, a lot of this is all a little bit similar, but like I said before, it's easily accessible. People from different cities can come in. It's right there off the highway, and everything's in one spot, so that, they can kind of work with the hotel on different food rates and things like that. It's just going to be easier for everybody. When you look at the different distribution channels, I think that they're going to need both a mix of direct and indirect. One of the ones that I was looking at was with the meta search with the indirect distribution channel. Oh my gosh, excuse me. That's something that they could use when initially trying to find a hotel. When you're looking for a specific area, using Google is a great way to go, and that's how most people are going to start their searching process. And then once you're found on Google, I think that social media as a direct distribution channel is really helpful for that because guests can kind of see what other people are seeing at that hotel as well, right? Like if people are taking videos of the different restaurants and things like that they're doing around the hotel, that's really easy for them to see what their stay has a possibility to look like. And especially as, the younger generations are starting to come up and have a little bit more economic power, that's something that they are definitely going to look at when trying to choose a place to stay. And lastly, in my opinion, I think that the group room rates should be a little bit, or not the group room rates, the rates compared to the competitors should be a little bit higher because while she is still kind of like working on that balance, there is more to offer there, and it is a nicer property in general. So I think that it should be higher than the competitors, but she also has to realize how to create value for those guests, right? She has to show people why they need to spend that extra money to stay at her property rather than the competitors.